Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. This is going to be a little bit more of Southern fried outrage, as it were. Okay, so two stories I want to read on, not necessarily related. One is John Schneider, who folks might remember as Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard, and recently the runner-up on The Masked Singer, dressed as a donut. Should have been dressed as a potato. Tweeted after he finished second in this show, which is great. But he shared the following tweet. Mr. President, I believe you are guilty of treason and should be publicly hung. Your son, too. Your response is... ... Sincerely, John Schneider. Are you an idiot? It's a crime to make threats against the President of the United States. Now, John Schneider is trying to say, well, despite how the media portrays it, I never advocated for violence against President Joe Biden. Dude, you're saying that you want him hung. He should be publicly hung. I realize that they probably had stuntmen in those jumps on the General Lee, but maybe a little bit more of the exhaust from that car got into the passenger's cabin than was first realized, because somebody's acting like they're brain damaged. The other half of the story is that the Texas AG was tweeting today after the Colorado decision that maybe Texas should remove Joe Biden from the ballot for the 2024 election, except that they believe in democracy. Well, if you believe in democracy, then you wouldn't have said that first thing. If you think Joe Biden has committed insurrection against the United States, please, sir, bring your charges and process them through the court system. And if you can convince your district courts and your state courts and the appellate courts and the Supreme Court that Joe Biden has committed insurrection against the United States, that would disqualify him from being on the ballot in the 14th Amendment, Section 3, then by all means do so. Otherwise, put on your big boy pants and grow the hell up. Obviously, this second one is just to appease Trump. All right, so we got two things here. We got somebody, an actor who can sing pretty well, who thinks that that Joe Biden is a traitor and that he and Hunter should be hung. Man, if you're there, what do you think of Donald Trump then, right? Entertainment purposes only. What is going on with this Southern fried insanity? Entertainment purposes only. 5 of coins. Let's start with John Schneider. 5 of coins being left out of the cold. Well, I don't think it's that he came in second place and he's got, he's bitter about not winning as the donut. But this feeling of being left out, abandoned. What's crossing that? Queen of Cups. And the 7 of Wands. I think he's kind of gotten a little bitter. Bitter cold type thing. He's past his prime. When you go on The Masked Singer, part of that is to kind of try and rekindle your career and remind people who you are. So now I would imagine that there's probably Comic-Cons and stuff like that probably still have them Duke boys in the General Lee show up. But most people probably would rather see the General Lee than John Schneider. But hey, whatever. And the Queen of Cups, he's not controlling his emotions. He's letting his emotions out there. He's kind of bitter. I think he's bitter and he's being emotional on it. And he's having a moment. He's having a mantrum. 7 of Wands, fighting for a position. He might be in an echo chamber. He might have been living in an echo chamber for a while here, and tweeting out to his fans and his base or whatever is going to get him some props. again, coming in second in The Masked Singer and then putting that out is kind of putting his name out there again. Maybe he's trying to climb back up the hill towards relevance. In the past, he had the Night of Cups. Once upon a time, John Schneider, sitting on top of the world. Dukes of Hazzard was a highly rated TV show. He and his co-star, Tom, Womat or something like that, I think it was his name. They were sitting pretty. They had things going on, stuff like that. You know what happened, as I recall? And I'd have to look this up, but I think this is what I remember. They started trying to negotiate a better contract with the studios, and they got replaced because the studios felt it wasn't the Bo and Luke characters that were drawing people to the show. It was the General Lee, and pretty much they were right. And so they figured they could just replace the blonde-haired and the dark-haired actors with other blonde-haired and dark-haired actors, and the show would do fine. And, I think they were right, 60-40 right. People don't like that change. I don't think the show lasted much longer with the new actors in there, despite having the General Lee and jumps and stuff like that. But, it's kind of one of those things that you sit on top of the world, but sometimes maybe you get a little too full of yourself and you overplay your hand. Now, in this case, I think the studio was more, was greedier than the actors were. I wouldn't mind seeing the actors get paid to keep the show going. But that's what happened back then. Current situation, he's trying to recreate himself. He's trying to reimagine himself and put himself back into the fray. He's going to be this conservative. It's actually a pariah, but he's going to be this conservative icon. He's trying to be relevant. Basically, he's just trying to be relevant again and reinvent himself. But the problem is to who you're going to appeal to. You're going to appeal to the MAGA, the QAnon crazies. They're going to love you. I mean, the folks in the South are going to love you anyways because you were John Schneider and you were on Dukes of Hazzard. But you talk about the president being hung. The Secret Service is going to come and investigate you just to see if you are any special form of crazy or not. They will have a visit and they will have a talk with you about what you just did. 120% guarantee you of that. Now, for those who were not big Dukes of Hazzard fans or were and can sort of separate political stuff out, they're going to look at John Schneider and just shake their head and say, yeah, you know what? You were an actor, but your opinion doesn't matter. You're crazy. You're crazy. It's not going to work. Yeah, he'll cause some trouble. He'll cause some turmoil for a while. The Secret Service will tell him to knock it the hell off, and he'll go off into the distance. But I think this manifestation, it's not going anywhere. He's created a little bit of a stir, a little bit of a buzz. Well, I could be wrong. Well, I could be wrong, but I think the Six of Wands, this isn't the victory for John Schneider. He's not going to manifest this. I think this is just looking for attention. Look at me. I did this, I called out Joe Biden. I'm a hero of conservatives everywhere. I can't do it anymore because the Secret Service said I'll go to prison if I do it. But look at me. I'm relevant again. But is he relevant? I don't think he's going to be particularly relevant. I'll throw a quick thing on his relevancy, and then we will leave John Schneider where we found him, under a rock somewhere, dressed as a potato. The Masked Singer. Yeah. They say, there's a saying, don't meet your heroes. Because, sometimes you might be disappointed. My brother is living proof that you could be conservative and not be a complete nitwit when it comes to political things. My brother, if I were to ask him right now, it's like he would just shake his head. he would probably make some snarky, snide comment about John Schneider and the Dukes of Hazzard and stuff like that. I can't call him. My brother goes to bed early. It's 9:00 at night on what night? It's Thursday night. I'm recording this in advance. Michelle and I are going out of town for Christmas, so I want to make sure I get some videos up there before we go. I'll probably record on vacation, but still. If I called Gary right now, though, he would probably make some comment about brain damage and jumping the General Lee. And then probably make some sarcastic comment of, oh, wow, if you're going to do that to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, imagine what they'll do with Trump and Jared, you know? Okay, John Schneider. Does this go anywhere? Does this lead you to the promised land that you were hoping it was going to do? Is this put up or shut up? Is he going to do some more? Oh, God, look at these cards, the same damn cards. Oh, my God, it really is the same cards. Okay. Those of you who saw the show with my brother, and he looks at me like, do you even shuffle those cards? I put these cards in different parts of the deck. Always put them in different parts of the deck. That way, if they show up again, it's because they were meant to. He lost his cool. He's trying to get people to look at him. He's coming across as weird, and he's just trying to start something new. He's trying to relaunch his career. Anything that he gets out of this, he gets a little bit of a boost. You know, he'll be talked about a little bit. He'll get like a boost, like, you know, if you do a Google search on what's trending, he'll be trending for a while, but it's going to go away. Because it just, you have to maintain a high level of toxicity in order to keep up in Trump world. You have to constantly be outrageous, constantly have people looking at you, constantly reach out with conspiracy theories. And he just may not be able to do it. It could be a new journey for him. It's a foolish journey. I mean, it's possible he continues on this path, and it's a foolish one. He should be a little bit more contemplative, because probably what will happen is information is going to come out about Trump in the next year or so from all these court cases and stuff like that. Oh, wait, here. As I put these away, dunk and dunk. And then I cut them like this so that the bottom card isn't the same card that was on the bottom when I did the last shuffle. I do try to get these cards mixed up. Where was I going with it? Again, he might get a boost from it. Within a year's time, say 12 months from now, we're probably going to know a lot of stuff about Trump that came out in the court cases, and this public prosecution of Biden isn't going to age particularly well. When you don't find out there's anything really going on with Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, but then you find out all the stuff that Trump did. And why weren't you calling for his, calling him a traitor. All right. Texas Lieutenant Governor. I don't even want to bother looking up his name. That's like too much effort for me. All I know is you oversaw the trial of Ken Paxton. You took $3 million from his PAC, and you led the Texas Senate in acquitting him of the impeachment that the House put him through. And now y'all are going primarying people that voted to impeach Paxton. Tells me everything I need to know about you and your ethics. You are a spineless jellyfish who's only caring about re-election and power and money. You have nothing to do with morals or ethics. So don't get on your high horse telling us how you believe in democracy, and then in the same breath say you think you should take Joe Biden off of the ballot in 2024. To which I would say to you, sir, I don't know why I'm actually talking like he's listening. Go ahead and come up with your evidence and prosecute him like other prosecutors have done with Trump. Go for it. Do it. If he's guilty of insurrection, by all means, why don't you do something about it instead of bitching like a little, you know what? Get myself worked up again. All right, Texas Lieutenant Governor. What's up with you? I expect to see another Six of Wands over here. Evaluating things. Again, I think this is just one of those things where this is just to appeal to Trump. Looking at his values, looking at the money. It's going to be fundraising too, of course, right? Because help, send money to me so we can impeach Joe Biden, kick him off the ballot type of thing. He's being a drama king. Four Swords. Yeah, well, he probably actually is looking at a way to remove Biden from the ballot if he could do it. If he could do it, he would do it. And he might currently be trying to do it. Is there anything else going on with this guy? Is there any money things that he's trying to lay low? If you're trying to lay low, screaming out loud like that isn't your best move right there. Actually, I do think he's, as much as he's trying to message to Donald Trump, they probably are looking to see if there's any shenanigans that they can do about this. This might be trying to cause confusion with Texas voters and just rile people up. Let's see. In the past, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. I still think they're talking about the Paxton trial here. He got his money and then basically put to rest the Paxton case. And it's stuff we don't know about that's going on in the background. I'm getting a Paxton reading on this. I'm going to go with that. Wheel of Fortune. I was asking about that. Spirit's going to answer a different question. Wheel of Fortune. This is about the Paxton case, actually. And the money that the PAC delivered to his account and what he's going to do with it. He has to kind of, keep it on the down low because you can't take bribes, right? But that the wheel is spinning. And there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, and that involves that trial. Some major arcana here. I think Paxton owes him some favors too because of this. Oh, that's right. He did a bunch of work for Paxton to do stuff like that, and then Paxton rewarded him with it. So now he begins his new journey with Paxton still in place. Now, Paxton, mind you, still has court cases going on in his way. Eight of Cups going away. Are we back to trying to kick Biden off of the ballot? It'd be a foolish thing to do. He may not be long for his job. There might be something that's coming out that we don't know about. Maybe there's an investigation into him about the money that could lead to him leaving his position. Let's see. Delusions. Okay, wow. This... Dear viewers, I honestly would like it if Spirit just answered the questions that I asked. It would make things really, really straightforward for me. When I look at something like this and I'm trying to read the cards, when they're not making sense to me, and the problem is I do cards one at a time. I try to evolve the story as it comes rolling out. And by the time I got to the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool card and then the Eight of Cups, it's like, okay, wait, this doesn't appear to be what it is. This is, I think, about Paxton and the money. Okay, so now we go to Paxton and the money, and then it's the Eight Cups. Like, well, is he going away? What's going on? I think that that's what this is. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, I asked if this was about Biden and removing him from the ballot. I don't think it could be. We should remove Biden from the ballot. We got to think of ways to do it. They did it to Trump. We can do it to him. We'll get him off the ballot. We can't really do it because there's nothing real there. And so all this rhetoric just ends. That would be the really simple reading of this. What I'm really seeing, though, is that he got a bunch of money from Paxton because of that trial. And that trial basically kept Paxton in place. This is for stuff that he did for Paxton. This is kind of the payment for stuff that was undiscussed backroom type stuff. He did the work and he got paid for the work, which helped him, move on. Happy, I'm great. Now I got $3 million from Paxton's PAC. I'm in good shape. But there's a problem here. And I think the problem here is this is leading to an investigation on him. Paxton himself has investigations going on, and now you've kind of linked yourself to him in this. And I think that's where this mystery card comes in. There might be a link between Paxton and this lieutenant governor. Somebody's leaving because of a decision they made which lacked integrity, and it's going to bring to an end their career. Now, this could just be the lieutenant governor being voted out of his office. But given the shenanigans that's going on with Paxton, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an investigation going on that we don't know about. I know there's an investigation going on for Paxton that we know about. Multiple investigations on Paxton that we know about. But the lieutenant governor? Maybe so. What can you tell us about any investigations that might be involving the lieutenant governor? Now, all that could be is about Paxton too, right? Those cards would fit Paxton to a T. Would that be Paxton that I saw in there? You got the money. You got the Four Swords. The Karma card. New Journey, got free out of that. But he's going away anyways because of his lack of integrity. Yeah, that could also be just be a reading on Paxton with his upcoming court cases. But is the lieutenant governor being investigated for any crimes, or what's happening with him? Let's just ask that. Three of Cups. I would take that as a yes. Crimes against women, multiple things. The Magician, Justice, there we go. Nine of Wands, and the Star card, Falling Star. There could be some investigations going on about him involving women. There's definitely something with the Justice card here. Manifestation. I'm not seeing money, but Falling Star, or is it women? I don't know if there's an investigation. I think he's just going to get voted out. He's looking over his shoulder for something that he did. And the Justice Department is looking at it. At the base of this, there could be a woman. Now, I seem to recall, wasn't there something about swinging or wife swapping or some weird stuff like that going on with the Texas, with Paxton and stuff like that? There's some women's stuff going on here. He might be being investigated for some women's stuff. Sorry, that sounds vague. Let me pause and hopefully don't crash the video here and do a quick look on that. Hang on. Okay, we're back. It's just that Paxton had the affair. That was correct. I wonder if this whole reading is actually about Paxton and not Dan Patrick. Long and short of it, there's going to be some... I think some problems that are going to come out of here with regards to the woman that Paxton had an affair with, and they're going to link money from Paxton to Patrick, because I know we got a PAC payment. Yeah, that was a pro-Paxton group gave $3 million to impeachment trial judge Dan Patrick. Defend Texas Liberty was the lieutenant governor's largest benefactor, providing $1 million donation, $2 million in loan to his campaign. Yeah, I think that Paxton is linked to Dan Patrick, and Paxton's going to go down, and I think it's going to take Dan Patrick with him. They're linked like that. Okay, this reading's gone on long enough for people that are really irritating and not very consequential in the grand scheme of things. no offense to dancing and singing potatoes and soon to be former lieutenant governors of Texas who can't keep their emotions in check. Anyways, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your kind words and your shares and your likes and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so our video makes it out to a wider audience. To new viewers and new subscribers to the channel, welcome. Glad you found me. Hope you found this reading entertaining, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. It's not going to stop unless I hit the stop button, right? Technology, it's amazing.